Hello, viewers. This is Michael from Scooby Reviews, bringing you a new podcast from my seven code, the Super Sentai Review. And like always, I must speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly, in case you are understanding. Also, I try to do my best not to reach on during our podcast recording as well, not to cause any feedback as well, and not to cause any feedback as well. And also, if you're under 18, this podcast recording will change to adult language. Once again, if you're under 18, this podcast recording will change to adult language. If you're under 18, now if you're over 18. And then you get to watch this podcast recording. Now, with this and everything else out the way, let's get into the latest episode of Gozyuger. So basically, the episode starts off with the new actress who played sister coming into the who's playing Suneno running into the cafe, and basically she said that during the stakeout her golden unicorn ring transformed her face and her voice. So basically, they're explaining why something looks and sound different, because her ring all of a sudden changed her face and her voice while she was on the undercover assignment. So basically, she went to the Tegasaur shrine, and basically was trying to talk to the Tegasaur and explain why did my ring change my face and my appearance. But it turns out there was a note that said that the Tegasaur is busy, it's not available right now. He's doing like one of those so basically, he's too busy right now to talk to anybody, and let's find yoga. And basically, we could say, I kind of like your new look, and basically, So Suneno was like, okay, well, this new face, I can get used to my new voice and my new face. It doesn't look that bad. And basically, this is how the episode started off. What a crazy explanation why Sunsumi looks and sounds different. Basically to explain that this is a new actor. This is still Sunsumi, but played by a different actress and whatnot, and a stupid explanation. So anyway, after that was done, all of a sudden, Hal came down to the room, Hal came down to his room, into the cafe. It looked like everything was, looked like the cafe was looked like a haunted house and whatnot. Everything looked like, looked like Halloween Con and whatnot. And basically, his landlady and her son were wearing these scary costumes and whatnot, except for the other rangers, and basically. And basically, Riku was like, I don't know what happened. I came back to the cafe, all of a sudden, it looked like a haunted house. So basically, Riku called the others on the phone. It's like, whoa, I'm out in the city, and the whole city looks like a big, scary haunted house looks like a big, scary haunted house on Halloween. So basically, I believe there's a #1 monster behind this phenomenon. So anyway, the Rangers, got themselves together, but Hal seems to be freaked out. So basically, Hal seems to be scared, or the scary things, the scary things and whatnot that's being caused by the #1 monster. So basically, they found, they ended up finding the #1 monster, which is a haunted house monster that turned the whole city into turned the whole city into a haunted house. Say that I'm the one behind this and whatnot. So basically, if you want to if you want to stop it, you have to go from the haunted house. So basically, all the Rangers were game, but Hal was seemed to be scared. Seemed like Hal is scared of haunted houses. So basically, this is the first time we actually see Hal be a real scaredy cat, and basically throughout the haunted house, he was just jumping, screaming like a little girl and whatnot. So anyway, while the Rangers were going through the haunted house, the haunted house monster was met by Ribbon, and basically Ribbon was like, Ribbon, where's General Bouquet at? Well, we got lost in the haunted house and whatnot. So basically, the Rangers are pretty much separated. So basically, Ryoga and Satsumi are together, are together in the haunted house somewhere. Riku was separated, and basically, how is with Machino somewhere. Kinjin, he was with Ryoga, but he got separated well inside the haunted house. So anyway, inside the haunted house, once again, Riku met Bouquet, and this is like the 13th time that who are you? Oh, do I know you? And basically, this has been an ongoing joke every time that Riku goes to Leo and bumps into Bouquet, he doesn't know that he always bumps into her like it's the first time they met each other, and also he does not know that Bouquet is part of the bad guys, and Bouquet doesn't know and still doesn't know that that Riku is the Blue Ranger. So anyway, basically, Riku and Bouquet decide to, work together to get out of that haunted house and whatnot. And basically, they eventually, basically, the Rangers did challenge the haunted house monster to a challenge to who could put on a better haunted house. So basically, he got the other Rangers to help him put on a better haunted house, and therefore, we could put on a better haunted house. And basically, he did a Halloween song and whatnot. He did a song, just as a vampire. All the Rangers dressed up, and for putting on their haunted house and whatnot. And basically, they ended up winning the challenge, and that's when Haunted House Monster and women started to fight against the Rangers along with the foot soldiers. So anyway, Rivet summoned a giant mecha, one of those AI mechas, that the Vital used to fight the Tegazord, mechas and whatnot, and basically, Riku summoned the Tegazord Blue mecha, and basically started to fight against Rivet. So basically, while the other Rangers did with the Hunter House Monster and the foot soldiers. So basically, the Rangers took down the Haunted House monster, freed the person inside who was a director of a haunted house. They freed that person from the Haunted House monster before they destroyed the monster, and basically asked for Ribbon, asked for Ribbon, during the battle, Bouquet was trying to, you need to be careful with this Ranger. This Ranger is dangerous. So basically, you need to be careful. So basically, River was like, I'm tired of putting on this boss and trying to be a good girl every time that Bouquet shows up. So basically, River did her own thing, and basically, and River went crazy with the mecha and started to destroy a lot of villains. So basically, and that's when Riku went all in and basically let Ribbon have it, and therefore Ribbon's mecha was badly damaged, so therefore she couldn't teleport out from, there's a little portal circle in in the mechas that the body used to teleport out once the mecha is badly damaged before it explodes, but the chair was damaged, but the portal circuit was damaged, so therefore, women couldn't teleport out, and once the mecha exploded, she came flying out the mecha, and basically, she was starting to decompose from the explosion of her mecha. So basically, women started to sort of decompose, and basically, Bouquet was trying to use her powers to stabilize her, stabilize her being and whatnot. But it was not working. So basically, even though women did it. Women saw how hard that Bouquet was trying to save her, even though she was not, she wasn't a good sister towards her, a good little sister towards her and whatnot, and he realized that, Bouquet as a sister was not bad and whatnot. So basically, Fire set up in his own mecha and started to fight against the Riku in the Tegatoid Blue mecha and whatnot, and basically, while they were duking it out, Ribbon used her last of her powers to give her a big black and white ribbon to eliminate biases, and basically Ribbon just disintegrated, and Lady Bouquet just starts crying and whatnot. So basically, Fire Cannon managed to get the jump on Riku in the Tegatoid Blue mecha, and basically he did some damage towards the Tegatoid mecha that forced Riku out of the mecha, and basically Lady Bouquet swore revenge that she will take revenge for her fallen sister, and basically that's when she finally realized that that Riku, the pop idol that she's been madly in love with, is actually the Blue Ranger, and basically she's about to shoot her after she realized that that Riku is the Blue Ranger, and basically the episode ended with her dropping her gun, and basically her letting out a big cry, holding the ribbon that Ribbon made for her when she disintegrated, and basically that's how the episode ended on this note. So anyway, this was they gave us a good explanation why some for the new actress who's playing Subsumi Goes to Unicorn and whatnot, it kind of does make sense, because the excuse they use to explain why a new actress is playing some and whatnot, but etc. But this was a good episode. Honestly, I did like it women, but this was a good episode that made me cry. So anyway, what you guys think about the next episode of Gozyuger? Good, bad, or just okay? Please let us know in the comments below. Anyway, signing off for 3 reviews. 1.